Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to the Your Child is Your Guide podcast, where we come together and level up in our ability to shift from feeling victims of parenthood to empowered creators, experiencing more connection and peace in parenthood. All things empowered and peaceful parenting in bite-sized chunks so that it is easily digested for even the busiest parent. The intention behind this podcast is to provide support that leads to reduced overwhelm, spanking, screaming, chronic negative self-talk, mom guilt, shame, and feeling victim to parenthood and our child's behavior. The intention of this podcast and its episodes is to deconstruct many of the generational thought patterns and cycles in a simple way that leads to us all leaving each episode feeling more free, empowered, and able to handle whatever life throws our way moving forward. I am your host, Michelle Bowen, author of 2 books, Your Child is Your Guide, and then also Super Practical, Peaceful, and Empowered Parenting. I am a mother to a 9-year-old little lady, and I am also a parent empowerment coach. All right, so let's get into it. In this episode, we are discussing how loving our children does not equal spoiling our children. For many, many generations now, we have been programmed and conditioned collectively to see, things such as picking your child up when they're crying in the crib as spoiling them, right? Or to see your child crying because their brother snatched a toy from them. And when they walk up to you to ask for a hug, we've been programmed to basically be like, toughen up, stop crying, right? And to see giving them a hug, holding them, or sending them love as you're spoiling them, right? We've been programmed and conditioned to see when our child is at the dinner table and they've been given food to eat and they are not liking the texture maybe of the broccoli or the texture of something else, right? 3, 4, 5-year-old. We've been programmed and conditioned collectively, many of us, for many generations, to see the parent that cooks a different vegetable for them real briefly, takes about 5 to 10 minutes, is spoiling that child. And the parent that forces the child to eat the vegetable that they are not liking at the moment, we've been programmed to see that parent that forces the child to eat it anyways and tells the child they can't get up from the table until it is done. We've been programmed to see that particular parent as the one who is making the child strong, right? So for many years, we've been programmed and conditioned to believe that showing compassion, showing love, really even serving our children and seeing parent and child dynamic as service to others. We've been programmed for many years to see that as spoiling them. Well, I am inviting us, or we are being invited, to have some fun remembering today as much as we can that when we love our children, when we show them compassion, when we choose peace over disharmony, power struggles, when we choose to take their needs, desires, wants into consideration, when we choose to take their needs, desires, and wants into consideration, we are being invited today to see that that is strength, to see that there is more strength in love, in unity, and in compassion than there ever will be in what is called tough love or going against the path of least resistance, right? Loving your child will never be spoiling them. Picking your child up when they are crying at night in their crib, you are not spoiling them. You are honoring where they are at developmentally, understanding that their brain is nowhere near close to being fully developed at the age of any infant age or toddler age. You are honoring where they are at developmentally, and you are nurturing them. You are giving them an example that you will always be there, that you will always be sending them love, that unconditional love is real, that even though you are screaming and yelling at the top of your lungs at 2 a.m., that I am still here for you and I love you. That is not spoiling them. Hugging your child when they are crying is not spoiling them. When our children walk out the door and when they go to school and they are receiving the projections of other people projecting their inner turmoil onto our children and others, we have the beautiful opportunity of creating a space in our home where instead of projecting our rage, our anger, our frustration, we are practicing more and more every day, to sit with it, to hold space for it, to release that tension throughout the day, so that in moments where in the past we may have been triggered, frustrated, upset, we are instead extending love and compassion. In the moment where the child is upset about the broccoli on the plate, extremely triggered, they're also very tired and they're not liking the texture and they're screaming. Just really, we're entering a period where we're just really realizing the magic of being able to sit with how that's triggering us, to notice the intense energy coming up within us when we are triggered by their reaction to the broccoli. And whereas in the past we may have used to fight them, yell at them, scream at them, project all of that stuff that's coming up within us onto them, we are starting now to see the power in holding space for it and then finding solutions, right? Holding space for it and finding solutions. Teamwork. And focusing more on finding the solutions than beating ourselves up about, oh, but my mom would tell me that I'm spoiling them right now by cracking open this can of sweet peas to replace the broccoli. My mom, my family, the world, they would think I'm spoiling my child. They would tell me that I need to force them to eat what's on their plate. And that's all good and well. They very well might. But this is your life to live and your relationship with your child to cultivate and create. Who you are being as a parent is your message that you're leaving behind with your child, your example that you are leaving them, your blueprint that you are providing them with how they may start their own parenting journey with their children. So it's never about what the world would do, what feels best to you, right? And for many of you listening to this podcast, what feels really good for us is for us to shift from worrying about what the world would have us do as parents to focusing more on just being solution oriented in the name of teamwork. My child and I are on the same team. Love and peace is always the goal, moment to moment. Love, peace, and compassion is always the goal, moment to moment. We score points together as a team individually in our home, and then also adding to the collective game that's being played as well. We score points the more that we are adding harmony, balance, compassion, love, and peace to the moment. So right now, my pattern is saying, fight this, force you to eat the broccoli, spank you, scream at you, send you to your room. That's what the pattern is saying, but I want to score some points. You're obviously not in a position to be the point scorer right now because you are suffering. So how I'm going to score points is get solution oriented. Where is the solution? Okay, sweet peas, let's do sweet peas. And then we move on with a higher awareness that if our child was 25 years older making their own food, they would not be choosing broccoli. And that is so beautiful to be aware of, because instead of forcing them to eat it moving forward, we will choose something else because they are not at a position where they can make those choices. It's just really taking into consideration where our children are at, honoring where they're at, respecting where they're at the way that you would have wanted when you were their age. And realizing that we're not doing this to be better parents or better people, but that we just deserve peace and love, and you always have and you always will. You deserved it when you were a child and you deserve it now. And one of the biggest hacks and biggest tricks to give yourself the love that you've always deserved and wanted is to give it to your child. One of the biggest hacks to giving yourself all of the respect that you've always wanted from this outside world and from others and from your family is to start giving it to your child and to watch it be reciprocated 20-fold. Again, we're not doing this to be better parents or to win Mother of the Year, but to just start to create our lives and our relationships from the energy we've been so desperately trying to receive from this world. Yearning for more peace from others, yearning for more appreciation and validation and love from others, yearning for more connection from our partners in the world. Well, I invite you to explore the idea that maybe you were never here to get from this world or to get from anyone else. What if you are here to give? Through your giving, you receive. Test it. Don't take my word for it. Test it. Some intentional action steps that we can take today to experience that firsthand, that loving our children is not spoiling them, but is actually preparing them firsthand to realize that love is the most powerful thing on the planet, is to have some fun today, noticing all the moments that your child is asking for your love, hugs in moments where, they're whining or they're pouting or they're crying, moments where we may have been told to suck it up, shut up, be quiet, go sit down, or moments where we have been told, that's not a big deal. Oh my gosh, you're crying over that. Moments that we may have been told things like that. I invite us, or we are being invited today in those moments to pause and be like, wow, if I were doing what you were doing, I would have probably been told to shut up or that I was being a baby. But I'm going to try something new and to walk over and hug them. Or you don't even have to physically hug them. You can also use this as an opportunity to practice strengthening your ability to just consciously and intentionally radiate your love and your presence. Send them love. They could be in their room pouting about, having to go to bed soon. These are moments where a lot of us have been conditioned to believe that to give them love and hugs and stuff at that time is spoiling them. Well, I invite us to practice today, to test it. Just test it, see what happens. And to just send them love. Look in the direction of their room where they're pouting or crying or complaining or having a tantrum because they're not getting what they want. And to just send them love. Have that intention, look their way, and just know that you're sending them love. For the younger children, if you really want to get a little wild and crazy, go pick them up, give them a hug, hold them. This is particularly powerful, specifically in the moments where you are doing this at a time when you've been conditioned to believe it's spoiling them. Okay? Love doesn't spoil. Love strengthens. Love creates. But love doesn't spoil. Right? And what's so powerful about this as well is that it also creates this space where peaceful, wise communication can occur that could never have occurred if we were telling them to shut up or go to their room or telling them they're acting like a baby, right? It's like when we hug them and hold them or send love their way, there's this opening where, okay, now if we want to add some words to the mix, it's more likely to be received by them because there's no fighting or power struggles. And also we're able to heartstorm some ways that we can handle this next time or what we can do next time as far as this particular scenario is going. There's just infinite opportunities that are at our disposal when we stay open and when we send love in moments we have been conditioned to believe doing so would be spoiling our children. Loving our children is not spoiling our children. Loving our children can never be, will never be spoiling our children. So the past has taught us that loving your child is one thing, right? But showing them love in moments that they are whining or crying, that is spoiling them. They need to toughen up, right? We've been programmed and conditioned, and the past has taught us through experience that loving our children all the time is weak and it's not helpful, right? Well, moving forward, we are being presented with an opportunity to perceive this differently in a way that can impact our relationship with ourselves and our children in a very powerful way. Moving forward, we are being given the opportunity to see that my child is love. I am love. Love is all there is. There is power in love. There is power in peace. It is from the foundation of peace and love that we can consciously and intentionally create solutions and stronger connections with ourselves and others and the future. And I am free to parent from my heart and to create my own life and parenting style that feels true for me. Thank you for being here with me, guys. I am looking forward to being with you guys in the next bite-sized, empowered, and peaceful parenting episode. Bye.